All right, guys. Okay, so this is for the Extreme Leadership Team. We just started yesterday with this group. Every single one of you was hand selected. You worked really hard to get into this group. You're all high performers. So I'm just going to say right now, congratulations to every single one of you for getting in, because this is a big deal. Like, seriously, I'm applauding you. We have over 650 people that we've signed up since we launched in January. I don't know the exact number, but it was 200 more than the month before. We signed up 200 new affiliates just in the month of March. And you guys are, I was telling David Scoltetti, you guys are the Navy SEALs of our team. You're the SWAT team. Okay, so you're the high performers. You're the ones with the skill sets, the desire, the motivation. You show up, you have consistency, you want it really bad, plus you're willing to put in the work to better your skill sets. And so all of those, that right there is the recipe for success. And so because of that, David and I, we're going to pour into you guys. We're going to pour more into you in the next 60 days than anyone else on the team. So because of that, we're 100% committed to helping you guys with a long-term vision succeed in MDC. And so Todd is a good friend of both of ours. We actually went to dinner and some fun in Vegas in December with Todd and Carla, his beautiful wife. And Todd's an industry leader. He's like a legend in this space. So I want you guys to really understand like what a big deal it is that he's taking the time out to do this higher level training with you guys. The other thing I'm really excited about is Todd's been in the industry. He can tell you, I feel like over 25 years, right? And he's been really pouring into network marketers for a very long time, as well as been in the field and led large teams. And so he gets it, but he also understands that you can't speak to the whole team the way you speak to the high performers. And so he's going to be able to talk to you different than he can to, you know, all of the people on our Facebook group. He's going to be able to really kind of say higher things to you guys. So that's what I'm really excited about, because I feel like sometimes we need to hear the hard things in order to make the changes needed to get to the next level. And my vision for all of you guys is that you're going to double, triple your business, quadruple, and that a year from now, we're all going to be in a way better place than we are right now because of consistency and showing up and putting in the work. And so Todd, would love for you to come on and pour your magic dust all over this group and help these Navy SEALs get to the next level. Todd, Falcone.
Thank you so much, Dana. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? How you guys doing? The Navy SEALs?
They're doing fabulous.
The A team, the doers, the producers, the up and coming 50K, 250K, 500Ks. Who's got their sights set on 500K plus? Anybody? What? All of you guys should be going, that's me, 500K. So who's never seen me speak or doesn't have a clue who the heck I am? Look at all these new people. I see Andrea. Andrea and I have met before, a couple of you maybe. All right, so really quickly, just to give you a little snapshot background, and I'm going to get into this. Been in the network marketing profession for 30 years. Started August 29th of 1989, so it's actually almost 31 years. So long time. Last 15 years, I've been speaking and training full-time to network marketing companies all around the world. I've spoken now, I think, in like 30 countries. And so I share that not to like, you know, say, oh yeah, I'm super cool. I mean, I've just been around the block forever, and I've seen, you know, I know the network marketing business like the back of my hand. It's something I've done my entire business career. Scoltetti and I actually met. I cold called him out of a magazine, and like, I don't even know, it was like 1997 or 8 or something. It was so long ago. And we became friends. So we've been friends for years. And I met Dana, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago. But I've been in the business every single day for 30 years, not in and out. Here today, gone tomorrow for a couple of years, coming back in. It's like my whole life has been engulfed in network marketing. And I speak for all sorts of different types of companies and different groups of people, high-level leadership, conversations, big, giant groups of people, I just want to talk to you today and just give you a really straightforward message. And actually, before I get into that, let me kind of tell you kind of like my quote involvement, if you will, with My Daily Choice. So Josh, about, what was it? Probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I get this phone call from this kid named Josh. And he's like, hey, I want to introduce myself. I've been following you for a long time. I bought your little black book of scripts and other trainings. And I've been using your stuff to teach my team. And it's really been helpful. And he had this huge business in this company called Syntech, which was this like fuel additive. And his whole team, most of his team was like in Africa. And so it was always, I loved like meeting young entrepreneurs. And so Josh and I have been friends ever since. And when he launched My Daily Choice, he called me and he said, hey, I'm launching this company. We're going to start with these nutritional sprays. And I'm like, cool, man. And you know, if I can help you anyway, let me know. And then he called me one day after they'd kind of gotten going. And I actually did some trainings that are actually in your back office right now in the lead side. It's like 15 videos in there that I did for him, like, I don't know, like 6 years ago or something. And then he called me up and he said, hey, we're going to launch CBD. And I was like, oh shit, excuse me. I was like, dude, look out, like get ready. Like, he's like, what do you mean? I go, get ready, man. And he goes, I think it's big because Jenna was selling this stuff on a Shopify store, and she's like blowing it up so much. I'm like, oh, I'm like, how, like, are you ready? He's like, I'm ready. And so I was like excited I've like always been and not a paid consultant for the company. I've just been like, I don't even know what to say, like the wise figure that's been around for a long time. So Josh always comes to me when he's launching new products. Like, I know about your new product launches before all you guys do. So, cause he knows he can share stuff with me and it never gets shared with anybody else. So if something new's coming out, he's going to tell me about it. I'm like, yeah, you should do that. Or maybe that one's not such a good idea. There was actually a product launch last year that he was going to do. And I'm like, no, it's probably not a good idea for you guys to do that. And he's like, yeah. And then it doesn't even matter what it is, but it was just the wrong time to do what they were going to do with that. But I have a very, very close connection with the company, a closer connection than I do with most of the companies. There's like 3 or 4 companies that I have really tight, long-term relationships with. My book, obviously, you probably have my book because it's in every distributor kit. I've spoken at every national conference, and I'm really big fans of Josh and Jenna, and I'm a big fan of the cannabis plant and the fact that they are doing things in a way that's different than what a lot of companies are doing. And I don't know if you're on only those of you that have gone from a PC to a Mac can understand this. So I was on a PC for a long period of time for my whole life. And then I decided to switch to Mac, and it took a little while to get adjusted. I can't even hardly work on a PC now, but that's what Josh is to like the human race. He's like the Mac computer, because a Mac computer is actually far more intuitive in its commands than a PC. Unless you've made the switch, you're like, what the heck are you talking about? So I know you guys are, you're brand new in this thing. You're only in for like maybe a month or 2 months. So I want you guys to know, because I've been around since the beginning, like what you have your hands on here. And you guys have your hands on something that's really, really amazing. And Josh is a very, very big thinker. And it's still such an early stage. I mean, the company went from 10 million to 100 to 170 million since launching these CBD products. And obviously it's not just CBD, but that's obviously a big part of it. And so I just want to reassure you that you guys are in a great place. Like, I can't, and I wouldn't say this for every Zoom. I've done over 40 hours of Zooms in the last 2 weeks. For different companies, training for different companies. And I don't have like some standard fair talk that I give. Like, if I feel honestly good about a company, I'll say something good, but there's companies that I speak for that, yeah, their product's okay, but I'm here to serve the distributor, right? I'm here to serve the distributor's needs and their understanding of how to do what we do in network marketing, because I have a very deep understanding of it. I built in the field for 15 years successfully before I ever became a speaker. So I didn't just read a book one day and decide I want to be a network marketing speaker. That was never even part of my plan. It just kind of worked out that way. But, there's no question that there's some weird stuff going on right now, right? Like, what the hell is going on out there? Like, it's weird. And it's like surreal, bizarre. We could use all sorts of adjectives to describe it. But to me, I look at, the position that we're in, this obstacle is opportunity in disguise. And you, because you've been like hand selected, hand picked based, through your hard work and effort here, you have a big responsibility in front of you. And some people are afraid of responsibility. To me, I love having responsibility. I love to be the guy that can step up to that level of responsibility when called for, and to show the world what I'm made of. And I just think that you all are like just beginning, just starting this journey with My Daily Choice in the middle of like chaos, right? Total freaking chaos. And right now, I can tell you this right now, that there's an awakening going on. There's a big, giant awakening happening out there. Those people that have never either been introduced to network marketing or perhaps been introduced to network marketing and denied it in the past, and going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life? Is my job going to be there? Is my company going to be there? So there's all this uncertainty. And, we've been dealt this hand of cards, and whether you play poker or not, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. When you play poker, you got your 5 cards, and ideally you want to pair up a card, pair of 2s, pair of aces, whatever. I'm not going to teach you poker right now, but my point in saying this is no matter what cards you're dealt, you can win with the absolute worst hand you're dealt, because it's how you play the cards that make the biggest difference. And right now there's groups of people that some of them are getting lost in the darkness. They're getting sucked into the news and sucked into the news feed and all spun out. And I think right now, this is an opportunity for us to lead. This is an opportunity to step up and really show the world what we're made of. And you in particular, this group of people here, your responsibility right now to step up like you've never stepped up in your life is now. And I got to tell you, like a couple things. Like last Wednesday, I get a phone call or an email from my friend David, who actually just called me just now. Again, I just denied the call while I started the Zoom. And he's a very successful realtor, a friend of mine he was in my downline like 20 years ago. And he sent me an email last week. The essence of the email is, hey, bro, what's up? How are you and the family? Listen, my real estate business is on pause. I can't do open houses. There's no chance of me doing a deal. I need to get back involved in network marketing. So here's a guy that, because of my connections and knowing everybody, reaches out to me Saturday. My friend Jason, who is a really famous DJ, not like a wedding DJ that plays your song at your wedding. This guy's like super high-end club DJ and has a network of all these other DJs that like people come up and get their autographs. That's how kind of DJ is. And he's like, bro, I need to get back into network marketing. All of my gigs, all my guys' gigs are shut down. So there's people reaching out to me that I've worked with in the past that I've gone on to be successful in other things. And you know what? You got to think and I bring that up because when we look at putting together a team, like your objective here, and it's interesting how you use the SEAL example. Like in order for you to be a Navy SEAL, I've never done it, but being a Navy SEAL is like one of the hardest things that you would ever go through in your life physically. Like very few people actually make it through SEAL training. It's only the most disciplined, hardest working people that, can commit to themselves and not give up, end up being these Navy SEALs. And you all have, risen to the top here in the beginning of this organization that's being built by showing through your hard work and effort what your commitment level is. And I think along with that commitment level, I think you need to understand one thing. There are people right now, like if you're going to, and what is your objective? Your objective is to put together a winning team, the very best possible team that you can put together. Like if you look at, okay, if I'm going to put together a Super Bowl team, do I want to put together a team of people that have never played football before? Or do I want to handpick and go find the very best players that are the best in whatever position they play in? And I'm not suggesting that you go recruit a whole bunch of network marketers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is the time for you to go get your very best people. Who's the most successful person that you know? Who's the most well-connected person that you know? Who is the most savvy business person that you know? Who's the most, you fill in the blanks for, and when we're thinking about specific attributes. And I think if you get clear on like who's your ideal avatar, like if you were to write down character traits of somebody that would be the ideal business partner for you, what words would you use to describe or define those people? Hardworking, ethical, honest, fun. I'm sure we could come up with a whole list. And then where are those people? Well, not right now. They're all at home and they're all sitting there. What am I gonna do? I got a girl who, this is like, so for years, one of my best methods of recruiting, because I discovered, and so some of you that have been around the block for a while, when you talk to somebody who's amazing, that conversation's fun, right? You're talking to somebody who's open, interested, they can carry on a conversation with you. They're like, yeah, I get it. I want to see it, blah, blah, blah. All of that is like fun. And then you get on the phone with somebody and you're like, what? What is it? I don't understand. And you're like, oh my gosh, I got to go take a bath, like a long bath after that. And so the difference is, so all of these great conversations, you're like, I want more of those. These ones over here, I don't want any more of those. And I actually discovered this, like actually when I met David, I was in a lead generation company and I was working my business primarily buying like business opportunity leads, banging phone calls out to business opportunity leads. I'm here, like they can't even carry on a conversation. Then I'd lock into somebody that sounded amazing. I'm like, cool. One day I'm sitting at my desk and I was living in Monterey, California at the time. And I thought, oh, I'm so sick of talking to the just like poor quality people. Where's all the good people at? And I thought, oh my gosh. And there was a magazine that was sitting on my desk called Homes and Land Magazine. We've all seen it. It's like a real estate publication. And I thought, man, every realtor I know, they're super sharp. They're outgoing. They're, they make money on commissions. They sell for a living. Yeah. I picked up the phone, called this lady. She said no to me. I'm like, oh, that script doesn't work. Picked up the phone, called another person, changed what I said. She said yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Called another person. That person said yes. And I was on to something. And I actually began. Now, many of you are working in your warm market. So this applies to both warm and cold market. But at this point in my career, I was primarily working with, I'd gone extensively through my warm market. I was full-time in network marketing at that point for like 9 years. And I just wanted to talk to good people. So I ended up like, basically, I don't know how to term it. I perfected a method of recruiting up, I guess is the best way for me to do it, to say it. And I ended up producing a course on it many years later. And this is why I'm sharing this with you is 4 weeks ago, I had a client buy this course that I have on recruiting professionals. And she had gone through it all. And she said, hey, listen, I'm getting ready to start to implement this. I'm a little nervous. Can I keep you updated? I was like, yeah, just send me a text message and tell me what's up. So every couple days, she's been sending me text messages, and she's never done this before. The only people that she's talking to are really high level people. And so she sends me like every other day. I set up 12 appointments, or I reached out to 18. I said 6 appointments. I signed up 2 people. I'm not going to go through the whole stream of texts that she sent me, but this last one that she sent me, I got to hang on. Oh, here it is. Hang on a second. This is just, this is the situation that we're in. This is what I'm getting at. This is what she sent me yesterday. And I only saw the first part of it when it came up on text, and it said, small problem today. And I was like, oh crap, what's the problem? So I opened up the text message. It says, small problem today. Everyone is saying yes to looking at the info. I'm like, oh, tough problem. The whole world is awake, especially pros. And, my point in sharing that is when most people start in network marketing, they go down the socioeconomic chain. They go after like this, I don't talk to these people, but this person up here, this high level business person, or this person, I'm not going to talk to that individual. So they actually end up avoiding what I think are the very best people on their list. In my opinion, you all need to be thinking about who is going to be the superstars on my Super Bowl team and get to them now, because right now they're suffering too. And I'm clearly seeing it because I'm getting phone calls from very successful people, friends of mine that aren't doing anything. And you also have to understand something as well. Sometimes people think individuals only do network marketing because they need the money. Okay. Now there's definitely a lot of people that need the money. We'll get into that in a second. But in 1997, I was at a Bible study in Pacific Grove, California, and I met this guy, Randall Swanson. And we were both wearing golf stuff. I'm like, you golf? Yeah, I golf. You tee it? Yeah, I tee it. Cool. So we became friends and we started playing golf. I played golf with this guy like no less than 700 times. Full-time network marketer, playing golf 4 or 5 days a week with this guy. He's super rich, knows that I'm involved in network marketing, but I never asked him to take a look. Randall calls me up one day. I'll never forget the call. He says, hey, do you know Everett such and such? And I go, yeah, I know that guy. He goes, yeah, well, he's on your 6th level. I'm on your 7th. Why didn't you tell me about this? And I was just like, my first response was, because I'm stupid. I mean, I don't know. Like, and then I was like, honestly, bro, I didn't think you would ever touch it. And he goes, I go, you have so much money, buy a car, sell a car, buy a car, sell a car, lose 20 grand. It's like, dude, you got so much cash. He says, I don't need the money. He goes, I'm bored, but I think I can help a lot of people with this. And so even though we tell people, don't prejudge people, even successful people do it. So I prejudge this guy and never asked him. Given what's going on right now, and because there are so many people out there that are struggling, wondering what they're going to do, this is the time for you to step up your game like you've never stepped up before. There are a lot of people, in fact, I was telling Dana earlier that, you know, in fact, I was having a conversation with this woman like maybe an hour ago. She came in during the middle of the recession, the 2008-9 fiasco. And she came in fact, I had a conversation yesterday with another buddy of mine who I'm doing a training for next week, who also came in because his business was shut down during the recession. And then he was like, okay, what am I going to do? Network marketing. And both of these people have been hugely successful in network marketing, and they came into network marketing during a very dark era. And so in all these trainings that I've done with different groups, big and small, over the last couple of weeks, I've been sharing with, like, because the question has come up so many times, like, is this the right time to be, you know, out there building my business? Is it insensitive to go out there and be talking to people? And my answer is hell no. It's insensitive for you to not be talking about it. People that maybe, and how many of you have prior network marketing experience prior to this company? By a show of hands, who has been involved in network marketing before this company? Most of you, okay? So even people that have said no to you in the past, it's time to get to those people. Even the person that said, no, not into network marketing. Some of the most successful people I know in network marketing are people that swore off network marketing. They're like, never, ever would I do network marketing. Stay away. And yet they're here today because somebody didn't take no for an answer. Things change, situations change. There are very few people. Now, I have racked my brain up, down, and sideways over the last couple of weeks, because here's the thing, like, actually, I'm sure David and Dana were in this session. So we were at this big event together, and there was this conversation about the gig economy, right? And how the gig economy is potential competition to network marketing. And the gig economy refers to things like Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, where people can have like a side hustle or side gig to make some extra money. None of which contains leverage, right? None of them which contain the ability to earn. And by the way, let me just digress for a second. I don't know if you've really looked at your compensation plan, but I'll just tell you this. This is probably one of the highest paying compensation plans I have ever seen in network marketing. I'm not going to sit here and say this because I'm not into absolutes. This is the single highest paying compensation plan in network marketing because I've not done a statistical analysis against all of them, but dollar for dollar, pound for pound, this is one of the highest paying compensation plans I've seen in 30 years of doing network marketing. So there you go. So here's the deal. Because, you know, these even these gig economy things, how many of you have Ubered this week? Anybody? No, not me. I'm supposed to be at a friend's house in Humboldt right now. She has 2 Airbnbs at her house. She's at 98% cancellation, relies on that income. So I think, first of all, because you're in this SEAL position, right? You're the A team. You're the group of people that have stepped up like nobody else. I think you have an even higher degree of responsibility to be reaching out to people. And there is no time for fear. Even leaders have fear. Like my whole brand is, in fact, my trademark is the Fearless Networker. That's my company's trademark. And it's not that I don't have fear. I have fear just like everybody else does, but I'm willing to shove the fear aside long enough to get done whatever needs to get done, because what's on the other side of fear is more important than the fear itself. And let me paint this situation to you, because this is something I did 3.5 weeks ago in Vegas in front of 2,500 people, and it was a made up situation. Okay, and this is something I want you to understand for yourselves and understand for your team members. Okay, so, and I've done this on stages all over the world. So I got this group of people. They're all there for a national conference. All these people have paid money to fly there from all over the world to attend this national conference because they're committed. Right? I'm committed. And so I'm literally walking through the middle of this audience and 2,500 people. I said, how many of you in the room want to make enough money from this opportunity where your life could depend on it, where all of your bills are paid for, your kids' college funds were fully funded, your cars paid for, house paid for, more than enough to go around, never had to worry about money? Every hand in the room goes up. I'm looking around like every hand in the room. I didn't see a hand down. I'm like, cool. All right, here's my second question. How many of you right now are acting as if your life depends on it? What happens? 90% of the hands in the room go down. I'm like, wait, you say you want your life to depend on it, but you're not acting as if your life depends on it? Oh, okay. All right, let's go a little deeper. So my next question was, let's make up a little scenario. What if tomorrow you didn't have a job? What if tomorrow you lost your job? What if tomorrow you couldn't find work? What if you couldn't borrow money? What if you had no savings? What if the only way that you could make your house payment, put food in your mouth, pay for your, survive would it had to come from here, the business that you're in? How many of you, if that was the case, would do things differently? Everybody's hands go up. I'm like, well, why aren't you doing it already? And what's weird is up until now is kind of a made up situation. It wasn't even real. But what else? You tell me, what other options are there right now for people that are stuck at home? Are we an overnight solution? No. They're not going to replace their $8,000 a month salary or their $5,000 a month they were making or whatever they were making in their job. They're not going to replace it overnight. But everybody is looking for a plan B. The people at home are going, why don't I have a plan B? Why don't I have a side business? And many of those people don't even know that network marketing exists. Who's going to be the one that introduces them? You. But if I was in your shoes, I'd be up as early as I possibly can. I would be staying up as late as I possibly can. And all of that time would be focused on revenue producing activities. Who can I expose this to? Who can I get this in front of? Who can I share this with? Because here's the thing, because I've worked with all different types of people in this business, and network marketing, building a big business in network marketing from a technical degree of difficulty standpoint isn't that hard. Like the things that we do day in and day out are not like technically challenging. Like, one, and David and I are probably pretty good at this. Dudes are typically pretty good at this. Laying on the couch with the remote, going like this, changing the channels. Like dudes are really good at that. My wife's like, what are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching all of them, right? Watching all 4 channels. Like, pick a channel. And 10 is doing brain surgery. That's probably pretty hard. I've never tried it, but you probably wouldn't want me working on your brain, maybe mentally with mindset, but not working on your brain. Network marketing is probably about a 2.5. It's the daily fundamentals that make the biggest difference. So like, for example, I'll give you a quick little challenge that I've been executing this last week that I think is pretty interesting. And actually I do this, and I run a 12-week accountability program that I do this the very first week, and I'll give this to you guys because I think it's really important. So none of you, and that's a weird example, but I'm just going to go with it. None of you are going to leave your house tomorrow, jump in your car, and go to the grocery store stark naked, right? You're not going to, even if you like being naked, like I got 2 teenage boys here. So if it was just me and my lady, I'd be running around naked most of the time because I got no problem with it. But if I'm leaving the house, I'm putting my clothes on. Why? Because the consequences of me walking into the grocery store nude, somebody's going to go, cops, and then I'm handcuffed with my cold butt on a cop car's back seat going to jail. So of course, most sane people don't do that because it is a law. It's called indecent exposure here in the US. So of course, none of us ever do it. I think it's really important that you create a law for yourself in this business. And if you do create this law for yourself in this business, you will never, ever have money problems in your career in network marketing. Okay, you ready for it? Never does, and this is not a goal. This is not something you're striving to achieve with a timeline on it. Like, okay, I want to be 50K by this date. I'm willing to give this. I'm willing to give up this in order to, get to that goal, which I may or may not hit in that time frame. This is a law. And the law is never does a day pass without me doing X. Or another way of phrasing it is I never, ever go to bed any night until I've done blank. And here's what the X or the blank is. Daily minimum number of intentional business building reach outs. Not a Facebook post hoping that somebody's going to respond to you. Not some creative something. I'm not saying you don't do those things as well. I mean, you do all the things that you're going to do to attract people, pull people into you, but I'm talking about actual intentional reach outs. I pick up the phone. I send you a text message. I reach out to you on Facebook Messenger. I'm reaching out to you with the intention of inviting you to take a look at this business. And the number needs to be big enough to make you stretch, but not so big that you can't hit it every single day. Like, to me, 1 and done isn't enough. Really? I mean, come on, 1. I could leave you guys right now, do 1 invite, and I'm done for the day. I could just go play the rest of the day. So it has to be something that forces you to stretch. Now, this kid who was in my last 8 team, 23, 24, something like that, as we're setting this whole thing up, he says 50. And I go, ooh, I love a big thinker. 50. Okay, I want you to understand what I've said here. This is a daily minimum that you can guaranteed hit every single day without fail. Like, never, ever does a day pass that you show up in your business where you don't hit the number, that minimum, which is not the maximum. So rethink the number. I mean, I've done this for a long time, and 50 a day, every single day, that's a big number, don't you think? I mean, you might have a day where you go crush it, and there have been days where I've done 150, 200 calls in a day. Crazy. Is it every single day? No. And the other thing is, I log every single bit of business building activity. Every day I do it. I have a log. This is my Fearless Networker prospecting partner that I created for myself. And these are actual reach outs. So even as a speaker and a trainer, each one of these lines, which is about 25 per page, are daily reach outs for me, where I'm, drumming up new business to grow what I grow, which is I'm talking to C-level executives. I'm talking to top income earners in network marketing. I don't know what your number is. It's based on the time that you have available, which right now is pretty much all the time, unless you're sitting. I know some of you are homeschooling and going, please God, bring the school back, man. This homeschooling stuff is hard. I mean, my kids are finally getting back to some semblance, but I get that too. That's got to be tough. But you're probably, how many of you, I'm curious, have a job, but you're not working right now? Like, have a business or a job, but you're currently not working. So, all right, just a few of you. Look at the average number, the amount of time that you have to devote to your business every day, and then pick that number. Is it 5? Is it 10? But it needs, I don't know what the number is. I don't want to give you the number. You need to figure out what that number is for yourself. And then you live it. You don't lip it. That's the thing. That, discipline, here's the essential definition of discipline. It's giving yourself an order and then following through on that order. So, how many of you love it when somebody makes a promise to you and then they break that promise? That make you feel super good? No, it doesn't make you feel good. You're like, what? Like my wife, a couple months ago, she had this girl invited her. They were going to do this thing. She got all dolled up, looking smoking hot. And 30 minutes before, the girl canceled. I could just see the expression on my wife's face of disappointment. I had a friend of mine for years, met him in the water surfing. He actually cut me off in the water. That's how we met. I took off on this big left and he cut me off and he's like, sorry, dude. And that's how we met. We became friends. We started hanging out and we hung out for a while, but he always promised me stuff. We used to go camping together. I'll be there at noon, shows up at 3. I'll be there at noon, shows up at 7 p.m. I'll be there at this time, doesn't show up. And finally, one day I just stopped taking his calls. Nobody likes it when people, make promises and don't keep those promises. What about your unconscious? What about you breaking promises to yourself? This business requires a degree of responsibility that you have to live up to every single day. And even if I'd said nothing else, like, let me just let's just pick a small number. Let's say it's 5. If you did 5 new intentional reach outs every single day for the next 365 days, where will your business be in a year from now? It would be impossible for you to fail. How could you possibly fail if you're doing the daily activity, which you all know, because most of you all have experience. The only way to the money is exposure. You got to put people on the product, you got to put people in the business, then you got to work with your team. Now, let me also share this with you. And I know, I don't know the high level or how far you've gotten, but I want to give you a very stern warning. Okay. So this, in fact, I have a term for it, and it's not a very nice term. It's called the kiss of death in network marketing. Like that term? Yeah. You want to know what the kiss of death in network marketing is? Here's the kiss of death in network marketing. It's the moment. See, first of all, right now, it's you and a few people. Then it's you and a few more. Then it's you and a few more. And then all of a sudden you get 5, 6, 7, 800,000 people. And what happens when you have 1,000 people on your team? The demands on your time, you got people, I need support on 3-way calls. I need this. Can you help me with this? I got this person I want to introduce you to. So the natural gravitational pull is towards your team, right? You've experienced that, some of you. But what you never do is you never stop personally recruiting, no matter how big your team gets. I don't care. Like here's the problem. People go from making $4,000 a month in a job to $20,000 a month in network marketing, and they think that they've made it. And so they stop doing the things that got them there in the first place. And then their check starts to go like this, and they're wondering why their check has gone in an opposite direction. It's because they stopped doing the things that got them there in the first place. How many of you that are watching me right now are married with children? With children. Okay, cool. So check this out. Funny example. You meet your hot honey, right? You guys, woo, damn, you're hot. Ooh, you're hot too. You're like, hey, you want to go out? Ooh, you want, oh, yeah, this is good. Uh-huh. Ooh, oh, bam, baby. Like, oh, look at the little baby, little Johnny. Look at little Johnny. We started a little family together. How sweet, Johnny. Ooh, wait a second. Dang. Oh, yeah, you're hot still. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Oh yeah, bam, Susie comes out. Now you got Johnny and Susie. Johnny and Susie, oh, look at Johnny and Susie. And all of the attention, this is why divorces happen. All the attention goes to Johnny and Susie. And then this unit, the couple unit, goes like this because all the attention is on Johnny and Susie. And so if we pay attention to the unit, now there's other extenuating circumstances, and I totally get it, other things that happen. But the example that I gave you in this, that applies directly in network marketing, is you never stop recruiting. You never stop, no matter how big your team gets. You never, ever, yeah, okay, I got demands on my time, but I always have demands for myself. I stay in personal production. So I would give you the challenge, and it would be cool for you to tell Dana what your number is. What's your number? What are you going to live up to every single day without fail? That means if your number's, I don't know, whatever your number is, I'm going to do 10 reach outs a day. Can you imagine if you did 10 a day every day that you showed up? Like before my day is done, my number one priority is I'm going to do 10 new reach outs a day to introduce people to this product, to this business. You would never, ever have a financial problem. You'd be crushing it in this business, crushing it. And so if you're at 8 and it's 6 o'clock at night, you got 2 more to go. Then you can rest. And I'm not saying the minimum becomes your maximum, but you need to know that that's what matters the most. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to go into the litany of stories that I can share with you, which are many, but I'll give you one. And this is something I want you guys as leaders to understand and deal with in the future, because this, I promise, will happen to you. It's too early in this deal for it to have probably happened yet, but I guarantee you it's going to happen, and I want you to know how to deal with it. So this guy calls me up, and it was October 15th, 2016. Calls me up, and he says, I've known this guy for a long time. He's like, hey, man. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? He's like, oh, and he had that tone. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, what's good out there? What's he asking me? Like, what's the hot? I'm like, bro, before we get to what's good out there, let's talk about your attitude, man. What's up with you? He's like, yeah, business just, isn't really going well. And I don't know. I'm like, okay. I'm like, are you still in the same deal? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, how long have you been there now? It's 10 years. Okay. 10 years. And I know the company, solid company. People make, I know right now, people making money in that deal, people crushing in that deal. I said, let me ask you this question before we get into what's good out there. I said, let me ask you this. Remember, it's October 15th, 10 and a half months into the year. I said, how many people have you personally recruited this year? And he goes, well, you mean how many total people joined the team this year? I said, did I ask you how many total people joined the team this year? If you're calling me, asking me for help, and you know me, that's not the game that I play. How many people have you recruited this year? And he's like, well, let me think. I'm like, how long is it going to take you to think? He goes, well, probably like 4. Are you freaking kidding me? 10 and a half months into a year, you recruited 4 people? Oh, all right. Now, I already know the answer. I'm like, okay, so you've been there 10 years. How many people have you recruited in 10 years, give or take? And he's like, kind of hemmed and hawed for a second. I'm like, is it closer to 500 or is it closer to 5? What's the number? He goes, well, probably about 40. I'm no math major, but 40 people in 10 years that you personally recruited into the deal? Okay. Now I even know the more depth to the answer. I'm like, then my final question was, okay, give this year, how much time on a weekly basis would you say that you've committed to like, what's the average number of hours that you're in and on your business every week? You're full time, right? You don't have a job. You don't have anything else going on. Nope. I'm like, what's the number? And he goes, well, probably like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 hours a week. I want to freaking choke the guy through the phone. Seriously. Let me tell you something. I gave it to him hard. So here's this guy complaining about the lack of the results from the work that he never did. Coming to me, bitching and moaning about no results, looking for another deal, thinking the answer's out there and the answer's in the mirror. When you have a team member in the future that comes to you and they're like, this isn't working for me, as hot as this deal is, as well run as these guys are, you're going to have people that come to you and are like, oh, it's just not working for me. I'd straight up say, hey, Scully, what's up? How many people did you put in? How many people have you introduced in the last 90 days? How many people have you shown this to in the last 90 days? And the answer, you want to know what the standard answer is going to be from those people? Well, not enough. So they already know why they're not getting the results. Like, this is something that you need to understand from a leadership perspective. And then I would suggest to you a couple things. One, pick that number, live that number, step up your game like never before. Because people out there right now are hoping that you're going to, if they're religious, they're at home praying to God, please bring me an opportunity, bring me a sign, bring me something. If they're not religious, they're just saying, please bring me something, bring me a sign. And we're the only viable option right now for people. What else is there? You tell me. I've tried to think hard on it. I don't see any other option. We need to do it obviously professionally, tactfully, with class, as we always should. Like somebody said to me the other day, they're like, I don't want to be an ambulance chaser. I'm like, then don't freaking chase an ambulance. Just go out there and build your business. You're out there. You're a solution provider. You guys have in your hands one of the hottest companies in network marketing. I know the incomes that are being made. There's staggering income being made out of this company. There's people, I don't want to be insulting, so I'm going to be careful what I say here. So how do I even put this? I don't even know what to say. I'm just going to say it. So 2 years ago, I'm at the national conference for My Daily Choice. So this guy comes up to me and he's got my book in his hand. And he's kind of a doofus. I'm kind of looking at the guy going, I don't even know. I didn't say it, but I'm thinking, if you ever got laid in your life, you're lucky, is what I was thinking. Like, I didn't say it. Not attractive at all. Like, no social game, awkward beyond measure. And I'm just like looking at the guy. I'm like, okay, take a picture, sign the book. I saw him last year. I'm like, and he came up and he wanted to get another picture with me. I'm like, hey, let's do it. I'm like, how you doing? He's like, I'm doing great. I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, I made 25 grand last month. I'm like, holy smack. I didn't say that, right? But I'm thinking it. I'm like, if that guy, are you kidding me? That guy's got no social game whatsoever, making 25 G's a month in this thing. They got grandmas that have never made money in any network marketing company and anywhere ever, making 5, 6, 7, 8 grand a month. I mean, they couldn't make money in any other deal. They're making money here. So I'm not going to I don't sit here and say, oh, it's just easy. It's hard work, but you have a responsibility. It's time for you to step up. It's time for you to go out there and make an impact. I would be right now reconnecting with everybody that I've not connected with in a long time. I mean, given the isolation right now as well, let me actually give you a quick strategy that I early at 2019, I was on this radio show, and these guys fully vetted me apparently, and they wanted to talk to a network marketer that had experience in network marketing, and is this guy for real? Does he know his stuff? And so I get on the show, and this guy, they wanted to know, they asked me about my career, and I said I've never had a bad year. I mean, my first couple of years I struggled, but after that it was boom, 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 just this. So I haven't had this this roller coaster ride. And then when he's interviewing me, he says, "What is the number one reason why in 30 years you've not had an implosion, or 29 or whatever?" And I said, I can't answer the question because it's not one, it's 2 reasons. But I'll give you the answer. Number 1 is this, and I've already said it to you. I never let a day pass ever without doing some type of new revenue producing activity, ever. Not as a distributor in the field, and not as a speaker or a trainer. Every day I'm drumming up new business every single day. Because you tell me what else is there? Managing the team? We don't manage anybody. We work with the team and help grow and develop the team and help, mentor them, but we don't manage anything. I said, but the real reason is, and this is the real reason, is I'm a relationship builder. I learned a long time ago that people buy from those that they like and trust. People do business with individuals that make them feel good. None of you go to businesses that treat you like crap. They'll get your money once, but they won't get it again. Will they? You're oh, promise, under-deliver, done. The realtor that sold me the house that I'm living in right now, I flew into Bend, Oregon, and bought the very first house I looked at. Called the realtor. I want to come look at some houses. She showed me 11 houses, 1 day of work. 1 day. That's all she worked with me. I bought the first house, looked at 10 others. Do you realize I've never heard from her after the deal? Never one time. Never one time after closing escrow have I ever heard from her. Do you think she's ever going to get a dime from me or a referral from me ever again? No, not ever. Here's the thing. Relationships are like plants. Plants need to be watered and fertilized. Here's a quick exercise. Let's just do it real quick. And because this is a habit that you should be in anyhow. Open up your phones real quick and show me your, just grab your phone unless you're on it. I see Tara or Tara, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I see you're on your phone because I can see the vertical. But, if your camera's turned off, please turn it on real quick unless you're naked. I don't really want to see you naked. Actually, it was crazy as I said that last week and this lady turned it on and she was stark naked. I was like, oh my God, turn it off, turn it off. Literally it was naked. She had no idea, full on body, frontal. I was like, whoa, too much for me to handle. Okay. Now go to your address book, go to the letter A in the address book. Okay. This is an exercise, really powerful exercise. Okay. When you get to the letter A, without any judgment or thought, find the very first person where it's been 3, 4, 5, 6 months since you've had any kind of conversation with them. Did anybody find it's the very first person in your address book? Anybody? Angie, okay. Typically when I do this, there's always a few people. Lindsay, first person, okay. Now, shouldn't take you that long to find the person, 15 seconds. Now open up a text message to them right now. Right now, while we're here. Don't skip this exercise. You guys are all leaders. Here's the text you're going to send them. In your own words, Andrea, what's up? Todd Falcone, how the heck are you? It's been way too long. Hope you're well. We need to catch up. In your own words, however you talk. Send. Not ... I got to tell you about this. Because you may end up telling them about it, but that's not the purpose of the exercise. Now, one of 3 things is going to happen. Only one of 3. 1, your phone's going to ring right now. Please don't answer it in the middle of my Zoom. Press the red button, send them a quick text. Say, listen, I'll get back to you in a few. I'm just wrapping something up. 2, they're going to text you back with OMG. Yes, yes, yes. So great to hear from you. I can't wait to catch up with you. It's so great. Yeah, it's been too long. Something like that. 3, They're going to say, who is this? Who is this? And you're going to say, well, this is Todd Falcone. Da, da, da. Oh, I didn't have your number. So, I don't have anybody in my phone where I have to say, who is this? How many of you have somebody in your phone and it says Janet, Dave, Sally, first name, and no, you don't have a clue who they are? How many of you? Be honest. Come on. Don't be lying to me. Look at all the hands. You want to know how you send a text message to that person to reconnect? Sylvie, this is Todd Falcone. Who are you? I have your name as Sylvie on my phone. I know I added you somehow, but I don't know which Sylvie this is. Who are you? Where do we meet? How do we meet? What's up? Because you don't download numbers into your phone. They only get there because you put them in there. Then she's going to say her last name. Okay, then you can reconnect. So you can still get to those people. You don't even know who the heck they are. That'll be a fun little exercise too. Now, here's the thing. I do this regularly. Now, this is a longer, like, I'm sure all of you are here for life, right? Right? Pot committed, gonna do it, ain't no giving up, right? That's the attitude that you need to have. It's like, I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm deciding that I'm going to do this deal until, no matter what roadblock, no matter what obstacle, no matter what, what setback, no matter what happens, I don't care what happens. I'm doing it until. And one of the most beautiful things about making that kind of decision is everything that is there to bring you success has to avail itself to you, because there ain't no more exit option. And some people don't understand really the power of something as simple as a decision. Like, I'm doing this. Ain't nothing going to stop me from doing this. Yeah, okay, I got knocked down. Like, what's the Chinese proverb? Get knocked down 7 times, stand up 8. No matter what happens, you continue to do it. I was so stubborn. 2 years I didn't make any money, but I was like, if they did it, I'm going to figure this thing out eventually. That's the kind of attitude you have to have. Like, somebody who comes in and says, I'm going to give this a shot and try it for 90 days. I'm like, no, you're not. I won't even sign somebody up that says that to me. I'm like, you go find somebody else to fail with, because I don't have people on my team that fail. Nope. I would actually do that. And I've done that many times where I have not signed somebody up because they said they were going to give it a shot. And I tell them straight up, I don't work with people that give it a shot. Well, I didn't mean that. Well, why did you say it? Because when somebody says something to me, they mean it. So giving a shot to me says you've got a timeline. There's a ticker, there's a timer on you. And when your timer goes off, if you're not making what you thought you should be making, you're toast, and I'm not going to invest my time in you. But if you want to change your mind, maybe I'll sponsor you. You see how different that is? And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to scare them away. Well, why? They haven't produced any volume for you yet anyhow. So you're not losing out on anything. You're actually saving yourself heartache and wasted time. So this exercise that I just had you do is something that I do daily. I reach out to people just to make a deposit, just to make an emotional deposit, just to say, hey, what's up? How's it going? Not, oh, because here's the thing. If the only time that you reach out to somebody is when you want something, you're not going to get it. If the only time that you call somebody is the next time you want to tell them about this business again, but you haven't, like, and let's say a person said no to you today, and then the next time you reach out to them is 11 months from now, but you have not made any contact in the 11 months up until that point. And the next time you call them is you want to pitch them the deal again, they're not going to respond favorably to you. And I'm surprised, because I've done workshops on this. I've done retreats on this. I've done speeches and trainings on this. And there's so many people that want to be successful in this business. This is a relationship building business. I've had people throw business my way that have never been in my downline and never bought a product from me. But because they've seen me as a guy that's made an effort. Like, quick one. I grew up in Seattle, Washington for 17 years, moved to Long Beach, California, lived there for 9, moved to Monterey, California, lived there for 11, moved back up to Seattle for 8, moved to Scottsdale, Arizona for 5 years to sweat, and then moved to Bend, Oregon 3 years ago. So now you know where I've lived. What the heck does that have to do with anything? Well, it has everything to do with it, because all my friends that I went to, the ones that I wanted to stay connected with, went to junior high, elementary school, high school. I've maintained contact with those people. My bros from Long Beach State, stayed in contact with those people. My friends from Monterey, my friends from Scottsdale. You know how it is. If they're not in the bubble and you don't see them every day, it can be very easy to let months and months and months go between contacts. Well, if I call that Bart Scott, I met him in 2nd grade in Mrs. Johnson's class, literally Mrs. Johnson's class in 2nd grade. grew up with a guy, have not seen him physically since 1985. But if I called up Bart today and said, hey, brother, he's going to, first of all, recognize my voice because we've spoken and I've maintained contact. And I said, listen, Carla and I are doing something. I want to show you what we're up to. If I sent you to this website, we take a look at it today. He's going to be responsive to the message. But can you imagine if I hadn't talked to him since 1985 and I said, hey, bro, Bart, he's going to say, who's this? Todd Falcone. He's like, who? We met in Mrs. Johnson's class in 2nd grade. He's like, I think so. We used to go fishing. Remember Silver Lake? Oh, yeah. I'm like, hey, I got this amazing business that I'm doing. I've been thinking about you. That's kind of creepy. It's a little weird. So you have to look like at the short-term day in and day out tasks. Every day, got to be putting new people in the business, introducing people to this product, introducing people to this opportunity. And number 2, what's my long strategy? My long strategy is to be the kind of person that people want to do business with because how I've made them feel. Anytime I have, I'm not going to even ask you because I already know what the percentage is. Nobody goes into my phone without notes. Nobody. I add a new contact to my phone, where we met, who referred you to me, what we talked about, what your favorite color is, what we did, what we chatted about, whatever I felt was important, where you went to college, what you do for a living, what your favorite activity is. And I'll leave you with this one last thing. And this is, to me, the great Grand Canyon separator from relationship building. If you want to create a monumental cavern between you and anybody else that you might ever compete with in the marketplace, this is what you do. When you find out what somebody's deepest passion or interest is, you know, when you talk to somebody and you get them talking, like, okay, like Skull Teddy and I, we could talk about the Grateful Dead all day long. We both love to play golf. If I started talking about Augusta, over, right? Bang, done. Easy conversation. We start talking about Dead shows. We could rattle for days. You find out something. In fact, he did it. He knows this because he did this to me the other day. He sends me this little, he knows I love the Grateful Dead. Right there. There's a Grateful Dead picture right there behind me. And I happen to love snow skiing, but David sends me this little video. You know, it's like, oh, cool. Entertainment for Todd of something that I love, but it also goes, oh, Skull Teddy knows me. And so when you know what somebody's really, what they're really into, then you can spoon feed them their passion. You see an article, you see a video, you see something that says Todd, you see something that says Sally. Oh, I'm going to get that for them, or I'm going to send that to them. You could be like walking around, you're in a store when we can finally go to stores again. That'll be so nice, won't it? And you see some item and you're like, oh my gosh, that's Bridget. Might cost you $3.99, little card, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Bridget saw this, was thinking about you. She's going to get that package. It wasn't her birthday, wasn't any special day. And she's going to say, oh my gosh, that person really knows who I am. And when you do these like random acts of kindness, we're not buying friendships here. We're just being super cool human beings. It makes people feel different. So when I was on the show, I mean, I went extensively for like 45 minutes on the show about this one subject. And there's so many other things I could share with you on you know, this whole relationship building scenario. People just, you've created an environment that's conducive to people wanting to do business with you. And I think that's an important thing for you to not only know for yourselves and get into a better habit of having notes with everybody in your phone, making sure you absolutely stay connected with those people, and something you should be teaching your teams. But now, right now, more than ever is the time for you to step up your game like never before, you guys. Like, and there is so much. Like, here's the deal. I know I said I was going to finish with that thing before, but let me finish with this. There's so much pent up demand on the plant. Okay. The cannabis plant has been held captive for so long. And what is new for most people, this new knowledge around CBD is like really only the last 7-8 years has it even been in the public eye. Last 3 years has really been in the public eye. There's been so much pent up demand that there's like an eruption taking place. I have friends of mine that are like trying to start CBD companies or CBD business, or how do I get into the space? And right here, you've got it. Like, trying to get into that business is hard. And I'll even tell you this, and I don't share this with many people. 2 years ago, I started a CBD company. with a business partner, and it was hard with merchanting, hard with marketing. The only way to really sell CBD effectively is through network marketing. And so it is. I mean, because here's the thing: some of you may not know this, but I can't go sell it on Amazon. I can't go run a Google ad. I can't run Facebook ads because they think it's a drug, which it's not. And so the only real way, unless you want to have some little retail store and you're doing $3,000 a month in sales, is through network marketing. You guys have one of the most powerful comp plans in the entire network marketing profession. You've got the systems, the marketing systems, the websites, the capture pages, the tools, and you've got the entire culture. And then you've got, what an amazing leader with Dana. Are you kidding me? Not to take anything away from you, David. You're a beast. I know that. But Dana, and I've complimented her the other day and she wasn't expecting it. This is the first time I've seen Dana in action. And all of you obviously are friends with her, know her, work with her, have worked with her. But I just want to say, watching you kind of from afar and seeing what you've done, just in the first, whatever, I don't know how long you guys have been in this company, but it shows what kind of leader you are, which is an amazing, absolutely incredible human being. And I know I said that to you privately a couple of days ago, but I want to say it in front of this whole group. You all should feel absolutely honored to have the opportunity to work with her. She's such a super cool chick, an amazing leader, and just gets it. And is an absolute hardworking SEAL beast. So I think you guys are going to do amazing things, but there's responsibility, and the responsibility now is like nothing you've ever had. I think you guys just you just got to dig in and go. Out there, people are just waiting for somebody to make the call, waiting for somebody to reach out and say, look, I've got something I'm doing that you can do entirely from home. If I could show you a way to make money starting today without you ever even having to leave your house in order to do it, would you take a look at something if I sent it to you right now? Who could say no to that question? You might get a couple no's, but the amount of yeses that you're going to get is probably nothing you've ever experienced in network marketing, but you've got to step up and do it. So Dana, thank you. I'll pass it back to you. I mean, I don't know if we can do Q&A or what the time is. I don't have another Zoom for 30 minutes, but I know I already went for an hour. So
are you guys super grateful to Todd? I think you just lit a fire under them. And I mean, I have 5 pages of notes. I have massive things I want to adjust in my own business. Thank you for letting me learn from you. I'm really appreciative of that. I think every single one of you on here is so capable and so ready to go, and they want to multiply and quadruple their business. So everything you told us, I think, is perfect. Dave, do you think there's anything else that they need to hear from Todd?
That was tremendous, Todd. I really appreciate that. It was fabulous. I mean, it helped. I'll just echo what Dana said. It really kind of helped me, because sometimes we get too caught up in what we're doing to be able to have some, trying to mentor other people and to have versus having somebody shake our brains up a little bit. And yeah, I mean, whether it's the DMO, whether it's the daily reach outs, whether it's the recruiting up, or those daily deposits, they're just all things that I could take up to a new level myself. So I took that to heart, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd. If you guys want to unmute yourselves and just thank him, just pour on some love to this guy.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Todd. Thank you.
Todd.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank
you.
you so much, Todd.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
I like a little shakedown street too. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love a little terrapin too. I'm gonna go listen to that. That's my kid. So, all right, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Go.
So much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you. See you, Dana.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, David. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.